Don't stop.
Don't stop. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Oh, man, it's Thursday, March 19th. Thursday, March 19th. And I'm your host, Dave Guerra, and this is Let's Have a Chat About Leadership for Thursday, March 19, 2020. Don't forget, Let's Have About Leadership is the show where I remind you that everyone is either a leader or a future leader. That's it. Everyone's a leader or a future leader. And don't forget that. So that's what we talk about here. We look at these aspects and insights of leadership in current events, in long-standing topics on leadership, lessons in leadership. We dive into lessons in leadership. We dive into current events. And we go into the deep end. And why? Because we have to. We have to go into the deep end because if you just, take things lightly, you're not going to accomplish anything. You take things lightly, you're just going to skim the surface. You're going to be that stone that skims across the top. While it looks pretty cool, understand that at one point it's going to skim, just skip off the top. It's going to skim the surface, and then it's going to just halt, a sudden halt, and then drop like a stone to the bottom of the lake. And that's just the way it is. And you don't want to be that. You want to be that one that goes right into that deep dive all the way through. Why? Because you are a leader and you owe it to those who have made you a leader. You owe it to them to be up on top, to be aware of your surroundings, to have your head on a swivel, 365 degrees. They're going to come to you for answers. You better be prepared to deliver when they ask those questions. When you don't have that, guess what? You've got nothing. You've got nothing, and you might need to rethink where you are in the grand scheme of things. Folks, it is that simple. These trying, changing, evolving times calls for real leadership. And yes, we can look far, we can look near. As long as we find leaders, and we need leaders that are going to guide us through this time, then guess what? We need to step up, because sometimes we need to just look in the mirror, and that might just be where the next leader is. And folks, that leader is you. So as I said, everyone is either a future leader or a current leader, but it doesn't matter. A leader is a leader, and it might just be you. No, I guarantee it's you. It's time to step up. Excuse me. A long day, talking all day, but again, communicating and answering questions, and that's what it's all about. So today is Thursday, and on Thursdays, you know what we do on Thursdays? That's right. Lessons in leadership. Lessons in leadership. Today's topic on lessons in leadership. Today's topic on lessons in leadership is do not be hasty to solve problems. Do not be hasty to solve problems. Don't go too fast. Folks, it's real simple. In these times where we want answers, why? Because we live in this information age. We live in this age of instant on. I mean, you pick up your phone and there it is. See, it just went on. Just like that. You don't have to push a button. It's on. You're right there, just 2-3 clicks away with your fingers, and boom, you're connected to the world. We need that information now. We crave it. We need it. We demand it. And when we don't get those answers, that's when we have problems. And then we try to solve those problems, and we get hasty. And we go too fast, and we solve them quickly than we need to. I've been guilty of this far too many times in my adult life. And I probably will continue to be guilty of this, but I also am aware that I need to slow down with my answers, with my response. I need to start thinking things through. And longtime mentor, he doesn't know it. Maybe he does know it. I don't know. Tom Peters, huge. I'm a huge fan of Tom Peters. This book, Reimagine, really opened everything up for me right there. If you ever get a chance to read it, that's the book. That really just question after question after question, but again, all in your face. So with that being said, ready, fire, aim. Ready, fire, aim. That's hasty. That's hasty solutions, but sometimes you have to do it, especially when no one around you is stepping up and delivering on those answers, to solving the problems. And sure, ready, fire, aim, that's fine. So long as you have the opportunity to come back around, observe, orient, decide, and act again, and then come back around, observe, orient, decide, and act. That's the OODA loop. Love that. The OODA loop, OODA. You continuously do that, then ready, fire, aim works. But that's if you have that luxury. That's if you have that luxury of having to be able to come back around. Most leaders have it. All leaders have it. What am I talking about? It's just that they're too blind to see that they do have it and that they can implement it. So understanding that ready, fire, aim might not solve the problem, but it starts addressing the problem. It starts moving the attention and the focus to the problem to resolve the problem. And that's why the OODA loop comes into play, the OODA, the observing. What did I do? How did it happen? I orient. Okay, now I need to fix it. Then I decide, you know what? I'm going to fix it this way. Go and act. That's it. Then you observe all over again. So again, you're constantly observing, orienting, deciding, and acting, and continuously till the next problem comes along. And then you ready, fire, aim again, because if there's no one out there delivering the answers, if people decide, I'm not going to answer those questions, if people decide they're not going to step up and take the hit, sometimes somebody's just got to take the hit for the team. And ideally, it should be the leader. It should be you. That just lets them know, lets everyone know, internal, external, and lets everyone know that, hey, you're in this. You're in this 100%. You're not half in. You're all in. And these are the times that we need leaders to be all in. These are the times that the new up-and-coming leaders need to say, you know what? I'm in. Because think about it this way, especially with this whole COVID-19 thing going on. If you're not all in, you are part of the problem. Why are you part of the problem? Why am I quick to blame? Why am I quick to say you're part of the problem if you're not all in? Because these are the times that everyone, all hands on deck. We need everyone to be in on it, to solve the problem, to determine what happened, to solve the problem, and again, to help prevent the problem and to contain the problem. Everyone needs to be a part of it. You can't just dump everything on a leader and expect that leader to deliver the right answer the moment you ask the question. Now, this is why it's perfect. This is why being the leader who is not hasty to solve the problem, but who is quick to start addressing the problem, who is quick to take a term from the military, put steel on target, steel as in S-T-E-E-L, steel on the target, and start focusing that attention on that target and start drawing the attention and the support all around 360 degrees to address that problem. These are those times, folks. If we ever had a prime example, this is it. This is it. We're living through this moment in history where we need to solve problems, but we need to start addressing them quicker, faster. And we need somebody to step up and say, you know what? I got this. I got this in the sense of I'm going to take the first shot, then we're going to figure this all out. Not I got this, I'm going to solve it and all falls on me. No, I got this and I'll be the first one to step off. I'll be the first one on the battlefield and I'll be the last one off that battlefield. And that's how it is. So yes, this is that time. This is now that time where as leaders, we need to find them. As leaders, we need to step up and become them. As leaders, we need to be the ones we've always been looking for. And folks, these are those trying times. These are those times that now it's here. It's time to put up or shut up. It's time to make things happen. And it's not the time to be, oh, well, I'm an introvert. I can't do this. No, this is the time we need those introverts. You've had your moment. You've had your time in the shadows. It's time to step up. Oh, well, I'll let this alpha step up. No, you're the alpha too. We're all alphas. This is now that time. And there's nothing more anybody can say. This is now that time. We've been preparing for it as leaders. We've been preparing for it, planning for it for years. Years. From the moment you said, you know what, I'd like to one day lead. You've been preparing for this moment. Well, it's here. You ready for it? No one is ready for it. I'm not ready for it. You're not ready for it. But guess what? You put your foot on the battlefield. No one's ready for that. But the moment it starts flying, the moment steel is traveling your way, guess what? You have no choice. There is no other option because, again, leaders, this is your time. This is your day. Everyone else, remember, you are a leader, a future leader, But you're going to get your moment. You're going to get your time. And sadly, I'm afraid it's going to be closer sooner than later. But either way, you need to find and you need to look for and locate a leader that's actually stepping out there and doing things. Great leaders already slowly starting to pop up. Some early on. First one I want to reach out and commend is Mark Cuban, Dallas Mavericks owner, basketball. Right away, he said, just as he was getting the news that the league was canceling, was suspending the games, the NBA was suspending games for the rest of the season, just as he was getting the news, he was already thinking, hey, we're going to take care of our hourly people. We're going to take care of the people that take care of us while we're there playing a game. I mean, this guy was already, right off the bat, boom. He set the standard. He set the standard. Next. Who else? Who's next? Who do you think is next? Exactly. Where are they? Where are they? Are they afraid to step up? Shareholders, shareholder this, shareholder that? No. They're out there. They are constantly out there. Another one, Mattress Mac out of Houston, Texas. Folks, if you don't know who Mattress Mac is, you're missing out on a great personality. This guy, he sells his gallery furniture out of Houston, Texas. Look him up. He's got his commercials all on the YouTube. Mattress Mac. Boom. His schools are shutting down, but guess what he's doing? He's feeding the kids. He's stepping up and feeding the kids. But then again, he's always stepped up. Why? Because Houston took care of him, made him who he is. He's given back. The Hurricane Harvey, the last great flooding there in Houston, he weathered the storm. He was out there taking care of people. He was giving stuff away. He was giving furniture away. But he was also raising money. He was feeding people. He was taking care of people. He took care of his employees. So you see what I'm saying? It's those trying times that people are going to stand out and shine shining gems. And there's nothing wrong with you being that next shining jewel, that gem, that diamond in the rough. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that because now is that time. So find what you're good at. Learn more, keep learning more, especially in this evolving situation. Things are constantly changing. I mean, look at this. A month ago, I wouldn't have said, oh, hey, make sure you wash your hands, stay home if you're sick, cover your coughs, clean and disinfect everything. But now it's the standard. And we say that to each other. We say, hey, stay safe, be healthy, do good, be careful out there. And we mean it even more. Why? Because it's just that important. Because one, this thing is still so unfolding and still so new that we don't know what's around the corner. We don't know what's next. There's rumors that people can get infected twice. But what about 3 times? Or is it going to be a constant battle? Will it mutate like the flu mutates? They say yes. Probably not as often, but it's already mutated once. Will it mutate again? Again, there's still so many uncertainties, so many things that we're not sure of, but we are sure of one thing. We need leaders. We need leaders at all levels, not just the elected officials, not just the business owners. We need leaders across the board. And it starts at home, then it goes to work, then it goes to school, then it goes up the chain. It goes up the chain. You don't have to be a business owner. You don't have to be an elected official. Be a leader. Nowhere does it say, because I guarantee you one thing. We all know ineffective elected officials. We all heard about them. They're in the news. Local, county, municipal, county, city, county, state, federal, international. So does that make them a leader? No, it doesn't, especially if they're ineffective. But those that are stepping up, those that are trying, those that are stepping in, where we hadn't heard from them before, now all of a sudden here they are making front page news. They're the lead story on the 6 o'clock news. There we go. Get out there. Now is the time to be that leader. Be the leader you want to lead you through this. And that's truly all there is to it. So do not be hasty to solve the problems, but be quick to address the problems. Be quick to get in there and say, hey, look, here's the problem. And here's what we need to do. Here's what we can do. Here's what we might do. But you know what? You get that opportunity to use that OODA loop, that OODA, the observing and orienting and deciding and acting, and reorient yourself until you're hitting center mass, steel on target 100% of the time, and you're winning. And when you're winning as a leader, that's because you're doing something right, because your followers are telling you you're doing something right. And when you win like that, nothing can stop you. You can conquer anything, even this whole nonsense with the coronavirus. But again, it involves putting your foot on the battlefield, being the first one there. And if somebody's already there and they're not stepping forward, it's time to step forward. Folks, I'm Dave Guerra. That's it. That's it. Don't be hasty to solve problems, but start drawing attention to those problems. Stay on target. Listen, have a good rest of your evening. Have a great rest of Friday. I'll be back again on Friday. We'll close out this on the business side of things, and then we got a lot to talk about. But between now and then, again, do as the CDC says. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact. Stay home if you're sick. Cover your cough. Clean and disinfect. Oh, and if you got a fever of 100.4 or higher, then go get tested, not before. All right, listen. Peace. Oh, and stop with the whole stockpiling thing. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.